Hi, Cancer Rising Sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 14th of May until the 19th of May. So, welcome back to my channel. For Cancer Risings, the heavy Taurus energy is hitting your 11th house, the house of friendships, social circles, long term gains, and goals. You might be solidifying your tribe. But as the week moves into Gemini, the focus shifts to your 12th house. So you are moving from who do I know to what is my soul telling me, how the soul is talking to me. So we've got the Sun Mercury series conjunction and Atlantis joins Taurus as well in your 11th house. So maybe you are finalizing a major collaborative project or you're working on a group initiative. But with Atlantis here, there is a check on the infrastructure of your network. Is this community actually sustainable or is there a hidden leak there? So we can do a bit of a tribe audit. We can do a long-term audit, long-term goal audit. So check your connections and your professional associations. You can use that series energy to nurture the groups that truly support you. And maybe you are checking up on group transparency. If you are part of a larger team, ensure no one is hiding something. Um, Someone could be making an error here and then they kind of want to make it up. And maybe it's about you investing in your social stability, social media channels. So it's about you securing your place in a community or even in a membership as well. Don't ignore the red flags regarding a friend of yours. Maybe someone might become unstable, trust your gut about it. Maybe it's about you having to have a more serious but simple conversation with a friend of yours. You have to be rethinking your futuristic goals as well, but also don't overcommit to a group goal because you might be promising your time to a cause, but maybe your personal battery is a little bit low this time around. And also, this, in the 11th house, the lack of transparency can lead to kind of a social collapse later on. So we're just going to have to be very honest to our friends that maybe they have hurt us and we have to be able to voice it. Now, Mars makes a conjunction to Chiron in your 10th house. Now, this hits the very top of your chart. It's a raw nerve type of energy, and it's regarding your career, your boss, your public reputation. You might feel not enough for the role you are in. Maybe you want to use that Mars to kind of pitch a high level idea or apply for a promotion. But maybe you are thinking that you are not necessarily good enough, or you are ready to stand up for your authority. Maybe an authority figure is crossing the line, and then you are about to be kind of like setting that firm Marsian boundary there. And maybe you are about to start working through your legacy wounds. Maybe you feel pressure to succeed. But you have to be asking yourself whether it's your dream or am I trying to heal, for example, family expectations. However, Aries energy is super hot. So if you feel disrespected, maybe let's just wait a little bit before we respond. Maybe we're gonna have to wait a little bit for that new moon to kind of kick in. Also, this could be talking to you about with Aries that we are rushing something forward and then we make a fatal mistake, an error, and that could be stinging your reputation a little bit. But you can also end up playing the role of the martyr at work, and then you are carrying the whole company just to be valuable on your own back. And of course, it could be draining your physical vitality. Now, as Mercury moves forward, it's going to move into the sign of Gemini, making a conjunction to Uranus, a trine to Pluto, and the square to the nodes. So with that Uranus in your 12th house, the 12th house is the house of hidden, the spiritual, the subconscious. So it can give you a lot of aha moments. Maybe it's from a dream, a therapy session, or just a moment of solitude. So therefore, you might want to be recording your dreams a little bit because you might get that psychic insight, and then that could reveal the answer to a problem you have had for potentially years, or at least since last year, when Uranus shifted into the sign of Gemini already once. Maybe it's a shocking secret that is about to come to light, especially with Pluto. Something hidden, either yours or someone else's, can come to light, and it's all about liberating. It's not necessarily about getting into gossips. Or maybe you want to be upgrading your spiritual circle a little bit, or you want to be upgrading your spiritual practices. It can make you very nervous as well. It can make you mentally feel kind of static a little bit. So you might want to be unplugging yourself from tech, spend a little bit more time in silence, for example. It can make you panicked as well, or you get a news, something unexpected, and all of a sudden I'm anxious about it. And you might see some random occurrences as well, actually, like messages from your higher self, and then you don't know how to interpret that immediately. Now, with Mercury squaring the nodes and the trine to Pluto, I mean, this could talk to you about, obviously the nodes are in the axis of the mindset. So you realize that certain type of pep talk, small talk, is somehow interfering with your spiritual vision. And maybe this is about you keep telling yourself something that is even not true like about your own power. So I think it's about the recognition of your psychological power with Pluto in the eighth house. It's a deep private insight that allows you to settle a financial and emotional debt, or why I'm clinging onto the past as well. So you might be obsessing over micromanaging your siblings, your neighbors, your thoughts. But what if I started focusing on my purpose a little bit more? Now, Mars is moving into your 11th house as well this week. So it was fighting for its career before. Now it's fighting to build something steady, potentially together with someone. Or, yes, of course, it can bring you fights with friends as well, though. So this is, you might be getting like a text message, and then with that South Node in the third house, we can overanalyze every single letter in there. Or we have got a contractual agreement, and then we are looking at every single detail, which is never a bad thing, though. So I'm not saying not to do that, but are you too obsessed with it? Or you might be micromanaging your own secrets instead of kind of like talking about them. Or, something, if it doesn't look logical, it doesn't look real, it doesn't mean it's not true. So we're going to have to be examining Pluto a little bit more about what potentially it might indicate. So this week, you are focusing on your higher vision. You are kind of focusing on self-care as well, especially with Venus moving into your first house. And that's about you being a little bit more cozy, and maybe you start fixing up the house or fixing up your living circumstances to make it more a little bit comfortable, or you just do certain type of self-care rituals. It's about you having to become the star of your own life. But also with that South Node in the sign of Virgo, we can start worrying about whether we are smart enough of or not. That can stop us, paralyze us from achieving our long-term goals. And you can have a lot of psychic hunches happening as well, most likely regarding resources and money matters. So you're going to have to take notes of those, because potentially it can be a source of income. So good luck, Cancer Rising, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.